Alright guys, welcome back to Half Fast 719. Got a printing factory going on here. So, printer number 1. Printing speed loaders, magazine speed loaders. Printer number 2, I am printing, my wife has a shipping label thing called a Rollo shipping label maker. And this is a stand for it, printing a stand. I'm printing this in PETG. It's like a translucent color, transparent, whatever you want to call it. This magazine speed loader I'm printing in carbon fiber, PLA carbon fiber. Anyway, if you're not familiar with how printers, 3D printers work, kind of like a welder, they take a roll, a spool, it's called filament. Filament comes in, goes into this is called an extruder. It's a little motor with a bearing and a teeth, and it pushes the plastic down in here into the hot end. So yeah, and then it goes up to, I have it at 250 degrees. Read focus. Let's see. Oh. Anyway, 250 degrees. The bed is 75 degrees. This bed is hot. This is Celsius, by the way. 250 degrees Celsius. This stuff is 250 and 60. Carbon fiber. But yeah. So, a couple upgrades you have to do. First and foremost, the bed has to be level as it can be. So you buy these, some printers come with them already, some big fat, some 26-inch wheels. They're just easier to spin as compared to that little black insert right there. So I tried printing one, and I was having a problem, which I'll get to in a second. Anyway, yeah, upgrade, definitely upgrade that. I added these rods. These are support rods to keep this thing from vibrating, because these were vibrating like crazy when they would go across. It'd be a brrr, brrr, and it makes that noise exactly. Anyway, so must upgrade, take a square, a right angle square. I took this one, it's the biggest square I got, and I just squared it up with this, making sure it's a 90-degree angle, a right angle, as perfect as I can get it. Tighten them all down. As you can see, this is not flush up against this because I had to push it. This one's got a little bit less of a gap, no gap, a little gap, to get this, wanted to get this 90 and that 90 perfectly square. It sucks that they don't make this at least one side reversible thread and one side right hand, one side left hand thread, because then that way you could just turn this and it would push it. But what can you expect for cheap stuff? Second upgrade, definitely upgrade the tubing. This tubing here, get to it. So this is called the filament tubing or sheathing. As you can see, that is plugged up and that one is plugged up. So this is just cheap nylon tubing. I forget what the actual name is. It's like TPEU, I can't really remember. Right here. So I upgraded to Capricorn Premium PTFE Bowden tubing. So I upgraded to that. Capricorn is probably the best. I tried a different cheap knockoff version and it did the same. So the reason why it's doing that to the tubing is because, so when this is printing, let's say it's printing this outside and when it's printing this supports, the filament retracts, and when it retracts, it's melted. So when it's melted, it sticks in that tube, and then if the fan is this fan here, cooling fan is too high, basically it cools and then it hardens, and then the filament can't go back in there, and it gums up. So definitely Capricorn is a must. I did buy these LED lighting for like 12 bucks off of Amazon, and I just put them in a series. This isn't, it's under cabinet lighting. It's not how it's supposed to be. What I ended up doing is just soldering connectors, and then ran the wire up, soldered another connector. They come with these little connectors, they're just pins like jumpers, and just soldered it, ran it in a series, and then I have it plugged in to the batteries, my plethora of batteries, into the power inverter, which power inverter does not need to be on for it to work. So lighting is good, heat is good, and then just making sure that you're doing the right files. This is going to be 90% infill, which means that material inside the layers. Yeah, and then onto this. This is a homemade, well, it's a food dehydrator. So, as you can see, got some of the filament hanging out of here. Put this little fitting on here. Basically, what it is, I got in here, it's just a dryer. It's a filament dryer because filament retains moisture. I made this. So this is some ball bearings, just some regular ball bearings, like skateboard ball bearings, in some pipe that we built the desk out of, the kids' desk. I'll try taking this off without dropping this tubing. Now, I believe this is just 3/4 inch tubing that I had extra from the kids' desk that we built them. There's a bunch of the tubing right there, and then I have a bigger piece, four foot piece of tubing. Yeah, it says 3/4 by 72, so 3/4 inch diameter. And yeah, the bearings, they fit right in there. Ended up doing a washer with a nut back in here so this thing will spin. Put this foam in here to seal it, this little filament stand. And the whole purpose of this contraption is to dry your filament, dry it as it goes, because you're trying to see. So like this outside layer right there, where it's kind of whitish, that right there means there's moisture in there, and mostly because it's humid. It's humid today, so I should be running that thing through that little homemade chingadera. But anyway, and then here's some stands, some all thread, some rollers. Again, those are skateboard ball bearings. Skateboard ball bearings in here. And then I have this one running up to here and then down so that it's not running across another print. So, things that I've printed. Let's get to this. Some Dogecoin. If you don't know what Dogecoin is, it's a stock trading thing, I guess. Anyway, some guys at work were talking about it, and I looked it up and was like, "Oh, cool. Let me print some of these." And then I sent some pictures to the guys. I was like, "Oh, look, I bought some," and they're like, "Where'd you get those? It's not real money or whatever it was." And anyway, they were like, "How'd you get them?" I was like, "Oh, I paid 20 bucks for them." Anyway, they thought they were real gold. They're just plastic. So printed this side, then you print that side, and then glue them together. So that's that. Another reason why you want to change that tubing is because you see all this nasty stuff right there. That's from retraction and not sticking. So these two I printed. You can see these ones are pretty clean. These ones I printed on the number 1 because the number 1 I was using, I upgraded that tubing and the hot end. Oh, that's the other thing, the little metal nozzle. Most of them are just brass nozzles. So they're just a brass nozzle. And I upgraded those. Oh, right here. So this one, when I upgraded it just recently, I went to a hardened steel. And that one has a hardened steel. That one was like 22 bucks for the hardened steel. These are just some eBay MK8 hardened steel. They're just wear resistant because the carbon fiber filament has some abrasives in it. So anyway, what are these, you might ask? These are probably the coolest print and the actual print I actually use. So these are soap trays. So when I go to the hotel, usually the soap, you put it on their little stand and it falls off, slides off. So I got sick of that, and a bar soap, I should say. And so I was looking for something. So this was the first print of it. This is a whole like contraption. It's like 2 or 3 of these with a whole tray. I didn't need the tray. I didn't need anything. The other problem I was having at hotels, when I would get the soap to stick, take a shower the next day, that night, the next morning, whatever, it was almost impossible to get the bar of soap off. So I have one of these and one of these in my shower right now at home. And then this one I printed to take on the road with me. It has a little drain. These work awesome. I like these things. Pretty cool. These didn't turn out so well because of that whole tubing. This says Cummins in there. I'm doing some inlay, but this is an oil filter cap for the Cummins oil filter, Mopar oil filter, however you want to call it. Basically, on the kids' truck, you have an oil filter, and you unthread it. It drops down, but you almost have to lay it down to get it to come out from under the alternator, I think. Anyway, so what this will do, because like on the 4th gen Dodge, you spin it and you can just drop it out the bottom. But on his truck, you got steering components and frame, whatever. And so this, you screw it on there and you can turn it, it won't leak. So that's why I printed those. I printed 2 of them. I got one in the garage already. And I did this same inlay but in red. This one will be green. So these are some speed loaders. Some magazine speed loaders. This one did not work because it shifted. That's why I haven't thrown this away yet. I wanted to show. So right there you can see it shifted, and so now it will not go on a magazine. So it goes to right there, and that's it. So anyway, that's junk. So these are little knobs I printed for my shop press. So instead of having to put the jack thing on there and twist it, I printed these out. This one, I think it's this one. It's either this one or this one is for, oh, it's this one. This one's for a buddy at work for his shop press. And yeah, basically you just drill out the hole here, you put the roll pin in there, the hole goes through, you slide it on, put the roll pin in, and you can turn it by hand. So this here was just a test, trying to print something to see how it work. This is you put it in the shop press, and you can bend steel with it. So a shop press finger, you basically put a piece of angle iron in the press, and then you can press it. I ended up stopping this print because it started to I can't remember what happened. The filament, I think the tube or something got jammed up, but that's carbon fiber. It's not real carbon fiber. And then here's a Cummins keychain. This is printed in TPU, which did not work out so well. It's more like a sponge. But anyway, it's a Cummins keychain. I was trying to make a soft. This stuff right here is TPU. It's really, really soft, flexible, as opposed to this stuff's PETG. It's pretty brittle. This stuff flexes all over the place. And then this stuff here is cleaning filament. So when you're done, we're gonna change prints. Like, let's say I'm gonna change this carbon fiber to this orange. You take some of that cleaning filament, which is this whole thing, and you run it through there, and it cleans that nozzle. It's kind of abrasive, but it cleans the nozzle pretty good. It works really well. This is an AR block. So let's see. Don't judge me, guys. Here's a piece of aluminum, just a block. It's just junk. Anyway, you take that. Let me tighten it. You take that, and you would put this in there if you were going to work on something. But as you can see, this is just a block of metal. So here's that magazine loader. This is what's printing right now. So I think I might have screwed up. I might have to cancel this print. I might let it run. I think I screwed up. That print is going to print that, and then it's going to print these, and then it's going to print the little supports and this piece. We'll see how it does. Man, I might have messed up, because I think I selected print individual parts. Oh well. Anyway, long video, guys. Sorry, it's a long video. Going on 20 minutes already. But anyway, you stick a magazine in here, and then you take this little slider, you put all the rounds in there, and then you load it. Some other things I printed were some California compliant grips. So you can't wrap your thumb, they're non-pistol. A foregrip. Here's another foregrip that stopped printing for unknown reasons. I don't know why it stopped, but this was coming out pretty clean. But it wouldn't fit any of my guns anyway, or any of my stuff. There's another one of those I printed. So anyway, these 3D printers are pretty handy. Here's another one that I printed, which is just like this one right here. Work out really good. I like these things. This one, however, is for the guy at work. So I printed him this one because the one I printed him, it just said Glock on it, and for some reason it doesn't work, which, yeah, it's this one. So I don't know what the deal is, how different it is. It looks like this one's a lot bigger, so that's probably why his doesn't work. And then he's got a single stack. I printed him a single stack loader for his M&P shield. But yeah, so basically these things work like this, and you just pull it down and you load it. So 3D printers, pretty dope, pretty cool. This is one print that I printed, the first one I printed before I did some tuning. You can see it was pretty jacked up. This print was horrible print. I have no clue what happened with this one. But anywho, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's too long of a video already, but these printers are pretty cool. You just gotta make sure when you're slicing it, that's what's called the program, the slicer. You just gotta make sure when you're slicing these things that you're slicing them the way they should be. Like when you download it, people tell you what they did, and if you look at their print qualities, it's pretty crappy sometimes. Like this one, the guy that printed this or that made this file, his looked really bad. Like it looked like this. So what I did is I changed some settings in there. His threads were all jacked up. These threads are actually really good. So anyway, just modify, you just play with it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. This is my own YouTube play button that I 3D printed, and didn't come out so good because of the same thing with the retraction, because it's the same filament. So all this red junk is the same filament, which is this filament. After I changed the tube and the nozzle, this is how it came out, which is just perfect the way I like it. It's nice. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna cut this video here. I just wanted to go through some upgrades. Also, you can upgrade the concrete cement block. It holds a lot of the heat, and a piece of foam or a piece of cushion goes under there. But these right here really help my prints. So anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I gotta go eat something. So subscribe, comment, let me know what you guys like in this video, what you don't like. It doesn't matter to me. Let me know if you guys want to see more videos of this, and we'll go from there. So stay tuned for the next video. Peace out, guys.